So I have a friend that just got a Traeger and he's having some troubles with it. So I'm here to help. This is the Traeger helpline for you, sir. So he was saying that he wasn't exactly sure how to use his meat probe on his Traeger. So this is the Traeger Meat Probe MasterClass by John. So the first thing that we have here is the Traeger Meat Probe. Now I've just cleaned this. That's very important. You want a very clean probe. You don't want a dirty probe going into your meat. That's always a bad idea. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this meat probe, and there's another end to this probe that looks like this. So this end does not go into the meat. This end goes into the meat. This end goes into the controller on the Traeger. Right down here, there's a little graphic there to kind of help you understand where to place your meat probe. So don't try and place this end into there. That's not what works. So it's kind of like headphones. If you've ever used headphones, this end here goes into that little hole there. And you'll hear a beep knowing that it's connected. Now, if you want to set a probe alarm, it prompts you here, and you can say, yes, I'd like to set a probe alarm, and I'd like to be notified when my meat is at 155 degrees. So that's set, and you can see now that my probe's at 43 degrees because it's out here. It's not anywhere else. So the next important piece is that it's hard to get through the shell of the Traeger. So they've installed a handy handle here for you that you can lift up. That will actually give you access to the inside of the Traeger. Now I've got a nice little bacon wrapped meatloaf here. So now this is probably the most important part of installing your meat probe. So that's why we're doing a master class today. So you'll actually want to take the meat probe and put it into the meat. Should I do that? I should probably do that again, right? It's hard to see that. So you have the meat, you have the probe. Take your meat probe and put it into the meat, okay? So once the probe's in the meat, it'll start registering down here. So you can see it's at 48 degrees right now. Couple of important things. Make sure that you don't put the probe all the way through the meat, and you don't want the end of the meat probe touching any part of the grate here. And if you're cooking something that has a bone in it, you don't want the probe to actually touch the bone, and you don't want it to end up in a pocket of fat. So because this is just bacon wrapped ground beef, basically, no danger of a bone or no danger of a big pocket of fat. And that's it. That's your meat probe masterclass.